winner in all. Now this one exits a third place finish in a nickel claimer at Charlestown, going the 6.5 distance. You go the time before where she raced at Mountaineer, going to mile 70. She was a dominant winner, came from just off the pace with Deshaun Parker to win by better than 8 lengths. That was an open 4 that doesn't count against this condition, as you'll see in the heading 4 or less races not considered in eligibility. So this one is a 4-time winner in 2019. All of them was for 4 or less, and you'll see this race is for horses who have not won a race since January 11th of 19. So Foxy Gator, I think, rates a slight edge in class, and I like that she's stretching out to a mile. She's a 3-time winner at today's flat mile distance, and I think she's the horse 6-1 on the morning line. For second number 4, Nook, obvious one you need to use here from the Ravelli barn. Alvin Jimenez up top. She'll need some pace to go here, and I think she'll get it. I'm sure Hope Prospect from the outside will go and try to hook Foxy Gator. Maybe even Jewel Lisa will show some more speed today, but I just thought Nook needed a little more pace to run it than she'll get, so I think she'll get a little bit, but unless something drastic happens here, Nook is my second choice. Now for third number 5, I Got It comes from the barn of Ricky Short. This one's a 3-time winner at the distance, a 2-time winner here at Turfway, and gets Rogelio Miranda back up top. Miranda, good to see him back riding tonight after that incident last night, but seems no worse for the wear. A little bit sore, but he's elected to ride tonight. I Got It 3-1 on the morning line, and she comes from the barn of Ricky Short, who's always a threat. 1A, 4, 5 in the opener for me, and of course that does start the pick 5 with 15% takeout. Now, the second race, of course, every night we talk about, it is the start of the pick 4. 14% takeout pick 4, races 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we'll have another pick 4, races 5, 6, 7, and 8. But race 2 starts the pick 4, and I think of the 2 pick 4s, I think this one is the tougher of the 2. The late pick 4, I think you can attack and bet multiple tickets or even a bigger denomination than the 50 cent. But I don't think you'll need to spread as much. Race number 2, start of the early pick 4, I do think you'll need to spread. I think this is the one where we'll see some bigger odd horses. And in the second race, I'm going to spread a little bit. I did pick the 1A. The Moment Is Now on top from the Gennaro Garcia barn, and the Moment Is Now gets Javier Padron Barcenas stablemate. There will be a jockey change. We'll run Mystic Tiger. I think the other Bug Boy Ramos will pick that one up, but we'll get to that later in the changes. But 2 for 1 from the Gennaro stable. That's enough for me. That barn always a threat. This one of the 2 is my top pick. Claim for 75, 2 back at Churchill Downs, where was 7th, well beaten, but he elected to wait out the jail time. In the state of Kentucky, when you claim a horse, you must raise it for 30 days, 25% of the price that you gave the day you claimed it. Now, he waited till once he was out of jail. He could run the horse back for whatever he wants, and he elected to take an edge and run it for 5, and he was third beating a length. Now this time he's run it for 5, but it is a class break. As you'll see, that was an open 5 last start. This is a 3 in 2 years or never won for life going a mile, so get some class relief. Should be a pace presence. Now there is a lot of pace in here. That doesn't bother me, because should the Moment Is Now fail, I think Mr. Tiger will come running. So, but I think the Moment Is Now is the horse here in race number 2. And for second, I'm going to go for the 3-horse Jingle Me This. This one is a price, and I like this horse a lot. Number 3, Jingle Me This, will come rolling late. This one is a 2-time Turfway winner, comes from a very good barn in Tommy Humphreys. Sonny Leone has the call. This one making a class drop now. This one kind of ran even last start. 6 beaten 15 lengths for the $8,000 level. You can throw the race out before with Alvarado there where it was beaten 20 lengths. But if you go back to the Belterra races and even the Ellis race, any of those 3 puts this horse right in the mix here. I think after you get away from a couple of horses here, it's wide open. So I think if you could spread, this race you can use a couple. The next race I think we need to spread a bunch. But number 3, Jingle Me This. At 6-1, I have to use the horse for third. Number 7, Rio Bueno. Fresh off that win for the $7,500 non-3, where this horse flew up the fence that day. There was a little bit of a speed duel, and De Leon sat off the pace, and this one came running and came up the fence where no horses were winning that day. So I like that move of that horse winning despite a little bit of bias that night, and I have to use the horse right back in this non-4. 5-2, the morning line favorite, 137 in race number 2. That does start the 14% takeout pick 4. Now the third race, I spoke earlier about the pick six, the single six. It was hit yesterday and paid almost $34,000. And all but one horse, I think, was, I don't think there's even maybe two horses that were double digits, but it was a pretty formful sequence. And one lucky winner got away with almost $34,000. So we'll start over fresh tonight, and we'll try to get involved here in that as well. Again, 20-cent single six starting in race number 3. And number 4, How's My Bud, is the top pick. Paul Webster owns this one and is trained by Barbara Riley. Webster and Riley teamed up with a win last week here with Tempestuous Amy. They'll look to do it again with How's My Bud. Now this one is coming off a second-place finish, fast closing second at that, where this one rallied down the center of the course to get beat just a length and a half. Now that was a $5,000 race, non-winners at 2 and 6 months. This is a non-winners 2 in a full calendar year, so slight class relief, a repeat of the last performance. I think this horse gets paid tonight, 7-2 on the morning line. Now, number 9 is one I'll use, Great Harbor Cade. Now this one should be in front, should be a pace presence. We'll kind of watch maybe the first race or two and see how the track's playing. We have had a lot of rain the past couple of days in the warm weather here. The track does tighten up quite a bit, and usually when it does that, the speed is very favorable. Again, the track will get a lot more conducive to speed than normal, but the 9 horse is 5-1. I will have to use this one from the Doug Cowan's barn. Patrick Rhodes in the house tonight for this one's performance. Now for third, number 10, Cairn. This one class drops here for Donald George Harrell and Joe Davis, the trainer. Now, Azel De Leon has the call. He's well mounted tonight, is De Leon. Now, this one was 7th beat, 23 lengths, last start at Indiana going the mile distance. And the time before in that $10,000 level, that was a pretty good field that day. Junket won, was 5th beaten 9 lengths there. Ferocious Tiger, another good horse. Time before when he was claimed from Dougie Danner, that horse ran for 7,500, was 3rd beaten 4 lengths. So this one has been keeping good company. If you go back to the Turfway races last year, for the $8,000 level was a winner. And in fact, the horse has 2 wins here at the track. Drops to the $5,000 level, gets a dated condition race, and I think's in a pretty good spot at 6-1, 4, 9, 10 in race number 3 for me. Fourth race is a non-3 claimant event, $7,500, and they'll race a mile in the 4th race. There's a scratch of the 13. Once again, the also eligible has been scratched. Now, in the 4th race, I like number 2, a 10-1 shot I'm going to use on top. So that says pretty much what, not that I think of this horse, is what I think of the race. This is a definite spread race for me. And number 2, Barron. I like this horse coming in from Maryland. This one, last start, you've seen the horse back in October 19th on the turf, and it was a stakes event. Rallied from far back, was last early, 14 in a 14th horse field, and this one rallied, was 4th, beaten just a length in 3/4 with Forrest Boyce that day. And time before was a respectable 5th, beaten 4 lengths at Laurel in a first level allowance race. So dropping in here for the conditioned non-winners of 3, $7,500, a huge class drop. Number 10, Barron. I have to use the horse. I know the horse has never raced on synthetic, but is always right there. 12 for 35, made over $122,000 in his career, and I got to use this horse on the class drop, number 2, especially at 10-1. For second, I'm going to go for number 9, a Hinford. This one comes from the barn of Gennaro Garcia. Has several entered tonight. This one gets a break in weights, 5 pounds off with the apprentice Joseph Ramos, so gets in with 116 pounds. This one was the beaten favorite last start, 6 beaten 13 lengths. Gennaro jams this one in for 75. I don't know what to think of the race, but Gennaro didn't like it, so he enters the horse in for 75. If you look at the horse's form prior to that, was the beaten favorite here for the $15,000 level, but made the pace, was second, beaten a length. Time before 3rd, beaten 4 lengths at Churchill for the $10,000 level. I think the horse on the class drop is a must-use at 5-2 for Joseph Ramos and Garcia. For third, number 10, Solo Drink. This is a 6-1 shot I'm throwing in. Ron Kales and Hugo send this one out. Alan Garcia has the call. This one was 6, beaten 11 lengths, coming out of the same race as Hinford the time before when Hinford was second. Now this one isn't making a class drop, but what I like about this one, I know Hinford beat him 10 lengths, but this one is making the second start off the layoff. Horse hadn't raced since September over at Belterra, and since then, made that one start here. So been training over the track. I think the horse will be much more forwardly placed tonight with Alan Garcia up top 6-1. My third choice, number 2, 9, and 10 in the fourth race. Tonight's fifth race, as always, is one you want to be right in. This is one you need to really, really pay attention to if you're one that you're making a bet such as a pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, because everything goes through this race. Pick 5 ends here, pick 4, early pick 4 ends, late pick 4 starts. So this is one you really want to pay attention to, and I think there's a horse I'm probably going to single in here. I understand if you don't want to, you want to use a couple of horses in behind her, but it's a maiden special weight purse, $46,000 to go a mile, and as always, it's a deep field, 10-horse field, and comes from there's a lot of horses in here from top stables and very well bred, but I'm going for number 2, Still. A 4-year-old daughter by Bernardini. She's out of a Harlan mare. This one racing for Arthur B. Hancock III Stone Farm. Now, Tommy Drury trains. Malcolm Franklin has the call. She came to Kentucky after racing exclusively in New York in her first start here on December 20th. And she rallied from off the pace, kind of made an early move, then hung, was second, just got beat. But she did fight that day. She was in a really long stretch duel, but just missed. Now, she was 6-1 that day. She's 5-2 today. I think with the trip over the track, and now Malcolm knows her a little bit better. I think both of those are two attributes that we got to respect a lot. 5-2 on the morning line. Number 7, Miss Mosaic. Now she exits a second place finish here as well in a similar race. Now she raced here going a mile and 16th back on December 5th, where she rallied from third, made an early move, and then she kind of flattened out late. Was second beat half length. That was to She's Hot Toddy. Another very good field, but she did have an excuse as well. Now she's drawn a little bit to the outside from the 7 post, but Albin Jimenez knows this racetrack very well, and Ben Colbrook always a force. That one is 3-1, second choice in behind my top choice. For third, number 9, Complete, comes from the Barna Scooter Used. Now he has 2 in here, this one racing for Aaron Wellman's Eclipse Thoroughbred partners. Now this one raced 6.5 furlongs last start here at Turfway, was 10th early, ran on to be 6th, kind of ran evenly, was out in the 4 or 5 path, but did show some late pace, shows late run as it was improving through the stretch. Now stretches back out to the more suitable route distance, where 2 back in February last year at Fairgrounds was 3rd in the straight maiden and 2nd, just missing the time before that down in NOLA. So this one on the stretch out, I like her a lot. She's by Include out of a Malibu Moon mare, so we know she wants some distance. She's 8-1, and even the other scooter horse, I could see if you use that one, number 5, Loon Roos. This one's always right there. She's faced some of the best horses around here for the past year or so. So I'm going to go 2, 7, and 9 in race number 5, and don't forget race number 5 always starts the late pick 4 with just 14% takeout. Race number 6 is the 25th annual Babes in Balls Bash. The Babes in Balls Bash 25th annual race is race number 6 here at the track. Those folks are here with us. I believe they're down in the home stretch tonight, but this is a filly and mare 8-7 claimer to go 6 furlongs, and it does start the final rolling pick 3 on the card. I'm going to go with a horse who doesn't win a lot now here at Turfway. It's just 1 win from 14 starts, but is always right there. The horse is 8 for 14, lifetime 1, 2, 3, number 3, Magnetic Spot, 5-1 on the morning line. I think today's the day. Dropping from the 12-5 to the 8 level. This, for an $8,000 race, I don't think is very deep. Once you can buy this horse and the 2 and the 9, I think it's a wide open race. It's basically an inflated $5,000 race to me. Magnetic Spot for the 8 level on the class drop. Prior to the last start, the horse has been protected running in restricted starter allowance races all summer, but dropping back in for the 8, trip over the track. Victor Balon up top. He's a good rider, doesn't get very many opportunities, but he is a very capable rider and a strong finisher. He has a really smart head. He has what you call in the business, he has a clock in his head. So I like this jockey here on Magnetic Spot. I like the 5-1 class drop, second trip over the track. I'm using the horse on top. For second, number 9, Fort Marsh. Now, this one comes in from Illinois for Hutch Holsapple. Albin Jimenez has the call, and she will be a pace presence. She's drawn to the outside at this 6 furlong distance, and I like her post outside. If she was anywhere 1, 2, 3 hole, I probably wouldn't use her second, but on the class drop, I like her a little bit. And then number 2, you have to use the 2, Sacred Storm. She will be on the lead. She was a dominant winner here on her seasonal debut back in December 13th here at Turfway, and she ran off, won by 7 3/4 lengths. Really, really easy. She won the time before at Belterra. A lot to like about this filly, a lot of upside. Andrew McKenzie owns, Larry Smith trains, Gabe Lagunas has the call, looking for that first victory on the meeting. But Sacred Storm, certainly one you have to use. 3-1 morning line favorite. I'm going 3, 9, and 2. Those three are probably the only ones I'm going to use. I may add the 5 mock stuff and the 8 She's Got Friends in the pick 4. I'm just going to wait and see how the track's playing here in a little bit, just because in this pick 4 I think we can go really short later on. So number 5 mock stuff maybe in the 8 at prices if you want to use some other horses in there. But the 2, 3, and 9 are the top 3 in there for me in the 25th annual Babes and Balls Bash. Now that's the first 6 races. We're going to take a pause here. We'll come back with the changes in the final 2 races with my thoughts on them. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask that you please rise. Kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Turfway Park. Of course, the windows are open. 8 races on the card. The weather in the mid 60 degrees, some rain in the area, and some wind as well. But of course, the poly track will remain fast. First race, start of the pick 5. Take out part of the entry. Scratch number 1, North Latitude. Number 1, part of the entry, North Latitude. Scratch from race 1, which starts the pick 5. Second race, there's a jockey change on the 1, Mystic Tiger to Joe Ramos. Weigh the apprenticeship of the 7 pounds. Joe Ramos is a single bug, so waive 1 bug and correct the weight to 116 pounds. Jockey on the 6, Bro, is 4 pounds over. Scratch number 8, Apart from the Crowd. Number 8, Apart from the Crowd, scratch from race 2. Don't forget, race 2 starts at low minimal takeout, 14% takeout, pick 4. Third race from Turfway, start of the single 6 jackpot, just 15% takeout. As we kick it off here with no carryover, it's a 20-cent base bet. Take out the also eligibles, number 13 in a fog, and scratch number 14 Hugh B. Numbers 13 and 14 scratch from the third race. In the fourth race, scratch the 13 Fort Ramsey. Number 13 Fort Ramsey scratched from the fourth. Fifth race, start of the late pick 4. Please note on number 8, Magic Finish, there is an equipment change. Magic Finish will race with the blinkers on tonight. Again, equipment change on number 8, Magic Finish. She will race with blinkers tonight. No changes in the 6th. The Babes and Balls Bash, race 6 clear, no changes. Race 7, start of the late double, there are several changes. Scratch number 6, He's a Handful. Scratch number 7, Glorious Weekend. Scratch number 8, Shine On. Numbers 6, 7, and 8 scratch. There's a jockey change as the AEs have drawn in, and there will be a jockey change on the 14 Bourbon Traffic. Make the rider Gerardo Corrales. Corrales picks up the bottom horse. 8th and final. 3 scratches. Scratch number 3, Kitty Zip. Scratch number 10, Vivian B. 13 comes in, and the 14, Spoofy Doo, has been scratched. 3, 10, 14 all scratched from the 8th and final. Well, those are the changes at this time. Any other changes coming in throughout the balance of the program, I'll get those to you as they do so. 24 minutes. Good luck. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the pre-race show here at Turfway. Prior to the break, we got through the first 6 races here on this Saturday card. Just a reminder, too, I want to remind race fans that now through the end of the meeting, we do race live here on a 3-day-a-week race schedule. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6:15 post. And we do simulcast on Sunday and Wednesday as well, so we are open 5 days a week here at the track. 6:15 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Mark your calendar next Friday. Here at the track, the Forgo Stakes will be here. Full field they drew today in a oversubscribed Forgo Stakes. We'll see nonetheless and Lanier battle it out. And also that night we'll have Doghouse here rocking the stage next Friday. As far as tonight, we have 2 races left to talk about with 22 minutes to post. Race number 7, excuse me, is a non-winners of 2 allowance event. 4 and up to go a mile and 16th. And there's a horse in here I like a lot, and I'm sure many of you do as well, as the Morning Line odds maker has made this horse even money. You guys will send this horse off at even money. Ramsey Solution, number 11 for Ken and Sarah Ramsey, Wesley Ward, Julio Garcia up top. This one debuted at Keeneland, was 7th beaten 10 lengths, was ridden that day by Johnny V. Was slow to start, then just kind of ran even after that. But next start, the horse ran way more than even. You'll notice on November 20th at Churchill, on a off-turf course on the route distance, the horse ran out the screen. The horse went by 6.5 lengths, and as easy as a racehorse could. Was never let run, and as you'll see in the comment line, was virtually just unchallenged the entire way. And I expect much of the same today. I expect a clean break from Ramsey Solution and some speed from Ramsey Solution. I don't think anybody can get to this horse, and I think when it's all over, Ramsey Solution will report home a dominant winner. After that, who do you go to? I end up going for a price horse in here, number 13, Ammunition. This one from the barn of Brett Santangelo draws in off the also. This one broke his maiden 2 back for the $25,000 level at Woodbine. Then the horse showed up here, had been working here in the mornings for several weeks and showing good workout patterns here. Prior to the stake event at Woodbine, you'll see the horse had a couple of nice workouts here. 2nd of 13, a 2nd of 4, a 2nd of 3. But then elected to, instead of running here in an allowance race over the track where he was training at, they took him and took a shot in a stake race up at Woodbine, a grade 3 stake event, and the horse had a decent showing. In fact, split the field, was 6 beaten 15 lengths, and Serpa followed the horse up there. He was working the horse out in the morning and thought enough the horse himself to go up there and ride the horse when he could have stayed here, and he gets a return call here in a more sensible spot, a non-2 spot here for LaDonna Hudson. And I think this horse will show up today. 15-1, I have to use the price horse. Ramsey Solution's even money, and I think it's all about Ramsey Solution. But after that, I wanted to add some value, and I think Ammunition is the horse. It's going to be a sleeper here in race number 7. Now, number 9 is one I'll use as well, Overprotective. This one scratched a couple of, about a week ago here where the horse was entered and elects to run in the route race this time. And the last time we've seen this horse in a route race was on Jeff Ruby Day, where he showed up in the Rushaway, was 4th beaten 13 lengths. Pretty good field. Prior to that, he ran in the Battaglia, only get beaten 7 lengths to Some Like It Hot Brown, who of course went on to win the Ruby. But this one was a dominant winner when breaking maiden here by 6, rally from off the pace. The horse wants to go around the ground, lands in a spot where I'm sure Keith Kinman thought he was very well placed until he picked up the overnight and seen Ramsey Solution. But 15-1, good price in the horse. I'll use him for the minors. Now, the 8th race here at the track is a claimant event for the fillies and mares. Now, this is a race that features super high 5 wagering, not a carryover though. It was hit last night. And those of you just joining us, the 8th race, there are a couple of scratches. The 3, 10, and 14 are all scratched. Now, in the 8th and final, I'm going to go with a little chalk eating. Number 4, Mazzabella. Now, Mazzabella is a daughter of Gio Ponte. She's 9-5 on Mike's morning line. And racing for Bethlehem Stables of Mike Caruso and Michael Dubb as well. Mike Maker trains. Maker and Dubb teamed up with a win a couple of nights ago here. And Albin Jimenez has the call on this class-dropping daughter of Gio Ponte. And this one, she's a versatile horse. She doesn't have to have the lead, but I think if she gets it in here, she can walk the dog. But I don't think she has to have it. Now, I think she's probably going to be laying just a couple of lengths off the pace. She'll break from the 4-hole. I'm sure she'll let the speed go. She'll drift out and try to stalk and swoop. But Mazzabella, my top pick in the 8th and final. For second, number 5, Liner. Now, this one was 3rd beaten 2 lengths last start, but had a excuse. The horse stumbled at the start, basically lost all chance, and that was at today's distance of 6.5 furlongs. She's a daughter of Exchange Rate. Comes from the good barn in Dan Sainer, and Alan Garcia has the call. Liner, my second choice. For third, number 2, Bay of Fables. 12-1 on the morning line. Jeff Barkley with a winner on the card last night with Johnny McKee. Now, Bay of Fables is a 4-year-old daughter by point of entry. She's out of a Cherokee Run mare. She's making her 5th start in her career. And on debut at Ellis, this filly took some money. She was bet early, and then she drifted up, and I remember she went off 9-1, but she did take a lot of money that day and had a little bit of buzz going on about her on the backside. She was working very well in the morning, and she was slow into stride, had a trouble trip, and in fact, in the turn, she ended up hitting the fence and just had a lot going on there. So they kind of threw that race out. They entered her back, gave her another shot on the Ellis Park Oval. This time they went for the turf, but they left her in for the straight maiden. That's how much they liked her. Well, she was 9th beaten 21 lengths. So now they decide to take an edge. They go up to Indiana. Every right, they can run her for the tag. Nobody's going to look at her off those first 2 starts, and she won. But they did better. She went off 2.5-1 that day. Then they came back and run in the 20 level at Keeneland. 7th beaten 13 lengths. Usually that kind of race, they can equal that performance. That wins the 5 here. Now, these races with this purse increase and these people keeping the better horses in the area this winter, these races are a little bit tougher than normal. But Bay of Fables at 12-1, I'm going to have her on every single ticket I play, and I suggest you do so as well. 16 minutes to race number 1. That's the way I see them. We'll be back a couple of times tonight, try to help you out with some pick 4 tickets and a single 6 in race 3 as well. 16 minutes, the horses are on their way over from the backside to the paddock. Good luck tonight.